Ooh, it's been a long time since I've done this. Well, hello there. It is me, Blade. Haven't said that in about 4 months. And that right there is basically the purpose of this video. Hello. So, if you are unfamiliar with me, my name is Blade, or if you want to use the full title, The Blade. I am a filmmaker and drag artist. I used to say that the other way around, but once again, that is the purpose of this video. So you might be wondering, who are you? Why do I care? And once again, that is kind of the point of this video. YouTube is my least used platform since the beginning of me producing content, but that's about to change. So, a little background on me before I get into the bulk of this video. My name is Blade, as I said, and I am a filmmaker and drag artist, but I used to be more primarily focused on the drag side of things. I got my start doing digital drag on Twitch, mostly during the pandemic. I was doing it a little bit before then, but I think I really popped off and started taking it more seriously during the pandemic. I'm by no means like like I don't have a huge name out there or anything, but that's where I got the following that I do have came from Twitch, where I originally started hosting digital drag shows, but then I started to move into territory where I produced my own that just starred myself, and then that slowly evolved into bigger production value and got really conceptual, and then that slowly but surely brought me back to my love of filmmaking. But about 4 months ago, more three for, on the actual social media side of things, but for me, about 4 months ago, I just took a break. I just fell off the face of the planet. I didn't announce that I was taking a break, which, if anybody was worried about me, apologies. I just needed to go. I just needed to dip. I had personal things going on with myself that I needed to take care of, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's quite personal and really deep, but I just, for mental health purposes, I really just had to just go away. And in my time while I was away, I've done a lot of healing, I've done a lot of thinking, and I'm coming back to you very refreshed and renewed and feeling healthy. But I also had time to really reflect about what I wanted to do going forward should I return, which I kind of always knew I would return, but there's something itching in the back of my brain. Like, if I'm going to return, it's going to be in a much different capacity. So my last project that I put out into the world was called Summer of Lust, and it was this big drag, like pop star-esque, performative art thing. I really went like balls to the wall with it. I'm not gonna call it like my magnum opus or anything like that, but it was like a very big culmination of things that I had been doing since like the beginning of Blade and everything, and it was like the biggest version of what I did that I could possibly produce. And I mean, I don't know if there was a sense of it for the audience, but for me, there was a big sense of finality. So before I even went into this break, I was already starting to have that feeling of like, I don't know if this is something that I'm gonna continue to do, and I had other aspirations that I wanted to focus on. Those aspirations being my love of filmmaking. I mean, what I want to do with my life is filmmaking, and I sort of started to dabble with that. I put out two, what I call like drag visual art films. I kind of combine what I was already doing with the narrative idea of a film, and I put them together, and those are called, I have one that's called Blood on the Carpet, and I have another one that's called Lacuna. So they are films, but they're not traditional films. The best way I can use to describe them is almost like, what if somebody made like a drag jukebox musical, but it was also like weird art house things going on. They're very introspective, so they're a little strange, but you know, They're what I made. And from there, I knew at some point I was gonna want to pivot towards film. So that's what brings me to this video. I guess this is how where I want to mark the more official start of my channel. I do have content already on my channel, but I feel like my channel was just kind of a place to post like, hey, I have a trailer for this film, or a place to put the film with some copyright restrictions and kind of bring more attention to them, but I wasn't like seriously focusing on YouTube. Whereas now, I guess I'm announcing in a sort of way to my audience that I want to start, what even I want to start, I am going to pivot away from Twitch to YouTube. I'm not leaving Twitch in the dust. I mean, I will always have a love for Twitch. I mean, that's where I got my start, and that's where so many people have, you know, given me attention and giving me compliments on, my more what I'm saying is that Twitch is where people really gave me the motivation to even put stuff out into the world. People have always been so kind to my work, and the fact that people tune into my work at all was really special to me. So I'm always going to be there in some capacity. I just don't plan on making Twitch any longer my main realm. So basically, I want YouTube to be my main output, and Twitch. I'm still going to like use Twitch. Like I think Twitch is a great place to sort of debut stuff for me. Like if I can't get into the film festival circuit, I can always have my own little premiere on Twitch, but I'm not going to be like actively using Twitch. I want YouTube to be the place where I'm putting out my films and making content for you all. So, what type of content will I be making? Because that's also kind of part of the pivot, as I've mentioned, with making more film oriented stuff. So first of all, obviously, whenever I make a film, I will put out the trailer here and stuff. And depending on what goes on with the film, I do want to really try and like get myself out there. So realistically, I will be submitting films to like festivals or like trying to get it out there. But sometimes, when you're as small as I am, that's not always what's going to happen. So some of the films will make their way to YouTube, but it's not going to be the bulk, obviously, of the channel, as films take time, screenplays take time, festival circuits take time. So on that note, the other type of content you can expect here is I do want to continue the series that I started called Let's Talk About, where I talk about different movies. I think I'm going to pivot the intention of Let's Talk About a little bit and not just solely focus on like the messaging of a movie or a review of a movie, and just open it up to overall film discussion. I also have decided I don't want to just focus on horror either. I want to open it up to, whatever film discussion I'm looking to have. Additionally, I'm still kind of toying around with the idea. I'm not sure, might want to do like film reviews, because I'm pretty much at the theater at minimum at least once a month. Usually more depending on what's coming out, but typically I'm there at least once a month. So I am toying around the idea of film reviews, if that's something that interests anybody, or maybe I'll make a few and see how they do and go from there. So I'll have the Let's Talk About series. I'm toying around with reviews. And then the last thing I do want to continue that I started officially, I guess, started last year, because it's the only existing proof of it out there. I technically started 2 years ago, but the footage is lost on that. But my Blades Best in Show series, I guess we'll call it. It's like a little mock award show that I do, where I talk about the music and the films that got released in the previous year, and instead of just talking about them in like, these are my favorites and I thought this is cool, I like to deliver it in an award show style fashion. Listen, I'm not that big of a deal, no one's taking it that seriously. I just think it's fun to do it that way, especially because I want to talk about like cinematographers and composers and screenwriters and stuff like that. So it's a fun way to get to talk about it. And I also think there's some films that get shut out by award season. Like the Oscars can sometimes be a little pretentious about horror and things that are just not what they deem valid. So this is a fun way. Same thing goes for music, to discuss things that like honestly should be in that award season conversation. It's a way to discuss them in an award season way, but also like it's fun and not that serious. So I do want to continue that. Um, so I already have started working on that for 2024. It's 2025 now, but I mean the things that got released in 2024, and I've totally revamped the whole thing. I even have new categories, which include best tour, like music tour, album artwork, music video, songwriting, production, and then for film, I added screenplay and supporting actor, actress categories. So that'll be coming out soon. I'm really excited for that. Another change that I'm making though to Blade's Best in Show is I'm splitting it into two, because the video I put out last year was like an hour and a half long or something. So I'm gonna split one music dedicated, I guess, episode or installment, and one film dedicated installment. So as far as Blade's Best in Show goes for this year, you can expect to see the music nominations list come out on the 27th of this month, and then for film the nomination list will come out the 3rd of February, and then the ceremony, I mean it's not serious obviously as I said, but the ceremony for music will be the 31st of this month, and for film it will be the 7th of February. So I think that's pretty much everything I needed to address. I mean, I don't know if anybody cares, but I just wanted to get on here and make sort of an informal but also formal, like, hey, things are changing. This is what I plan on doing. And if you want to join me on the journey, hit the subscribe button, and you can expect Blade's Best in Show soon. But before Blade's Best in Show and any Let's Talk About videos come out, my next video is going to be me, just for fun, ranking all the movies that I watched last year, because I watched so many movies that the idea came to me, and I've seen other people on YouTube do it. I think it's really fun. I'm not going to be including any 2024 releases, just the movies that I watched last year that were new to me that year. Just for fun. I think it'll be a fun activity. It'll be something to, get this YouTube thing going, and yeah, I think it'll be really fun. So, if you made it through this whole video, thank you for watching. Please check the description down below for my Instagram, Twitter, everything like that, Letterboxd. I do have a website that has all like my film information and stuff, as well as my little production company. So if you want to check those out, everything will be down below. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. So you might be wondering, why do I care? What the fuck is a blade? Oh, I said fuck.